Hello, I'm Larry Clemens with the Nature Conservancy. I've worked with the Nature Conservancy for the past 20 years. It's the world's largest conservation organization. We work all across the United States and in 35 different countries around the world. We do our work by conserving habitat that our species and natural communities need to survive in. One of the habitats is water and our water systems. Many species occur in those systems that are very much under threat, and so therefore in the past 20 years we've worked a lot with agriculture to reduce threats from agriculture and even urban areas and their runoff and sedimentation. But our work has been focused on agriculture and working with farmers to reduce sedimentation and improve water quality from our agricultural lands. The Nature Conservancy has partnered with the Conservation Cropping Systems Initiative to reach out to more farmers across Indiana. The CCSI has a level of expertise and a partnership that really gets us to scale here in our state. And we talk about conservation with farming in a systems approach so that we're not implementing just individual practices, but we're implementing a system of conservation practices that leads to improved water quality, but also improved productivity of the individual farmers that are working in this system. So we're very proud to support this program.
My name is Mike Starkey. I'm a farmer here in central Indiana. I'm a no-till farmer. Been no-tilling for several years. Farm with my brother, my nephew, have a full-time employee. What I wanted to show you here is that as a no-till farmer, I'm working with a local university, monitoring my tile outlets for water quality. And it's been a fun ride. Been doing it for 6 years, going on 7. And we're seeing some great results of how a no-till farmer's improved the water quality throughout here in central Indiana. Behind here is a major stream that goes into the Indianapolis water for their drinking water. It's called Eagle Creek Watershed. And when we have a unique situation here that the university put in, to monitor the water as it goes into this bioswale, and then it monitors the water after it goes out the bioswale. We're looking for nitrogen, we're looking for phosphorus, we're looking for atrazine, any other issues that might be in the water. I have a cornfield right behind us here. They're monitoring a 4-inch tile going in, seeing what it looks like before and after it goes through this bioswale. This bioswale was put in last year. It's been kind of interesting because they're not seeing the farmer, the no-till farmer, polluting the water, which is fantastic news. So we want to continue doing this. We actually want to improve even more. We're going to do a study in the next 6 years of comparing commercial fertilize, application of dry commercial fertilize with a liquid fertilize on the other side of the creek, monitoring that, seeing if we can just not broadcast commercial fertilize, just use a in-furrow liquid fertilize program, and whatever that crop needs, that's what we're going to put on. So hopefully as we go on through the years, we'll get some good results and to help not only Indianapolis water, but the nation in general. In addition to our no-till practices, we use cover crops. Out here, we have used cover crops out here probably, 8 to 9 years. Mostly we've been using a cover crop called annual ryegrass. With the type of soil type that we have here, it's a tight clay soil, but after a tremendous rain, they don't see any water standing out here like it should, in their opinion, happen. And I really attribute that to our no-till practices and our cover crop. We're getting tremendous air and water movement through the soil. Our tiles have woke up where they're taking that water in and draining our fields, but also the soil is like a sponge. It's absorbing that water, and last year's drought, it really paid off because we had so much water that was in our soil profile that gave our soybeans, which we had out here last year, some water to use for last year's drought situation. And what they're seeing with all the testing that they're doing here is that cover crop has scavenged that nitrogen up releasing it throughout the next year's crop in the growing season, we have a dramatic reduction of using nitrogen. Back in the days when my dad was farming, we would just put a tremendous amount of nitrogen on. Now we spoon feed the nitrogen. We only give it as it's needed, and a dramatic reduction in nitrogen. And that's what this is about also. We want to make sure that we are not over applying our nitrogen or our phosphorus or our atrazine or whatever we're putting in the water. We want to have clean water throughout the whole field here, and the good news is that's what we're seeing. I really feel not only with the cover crops and the no-till practices that benefit the soil, but what we're seeing is just an overall, we're just seeing a new paradigm in no-till farming.
The Nature Conservancy believes the Conservation Cropping Systems Initiative is going to have a big impact on water quality in our state. Anytime we can work with farmers to reduce soil erosion, reduce runoff from their farms, we're improving water quality, and thus the fish, the mussels, and invertebrates that live in our waterways are going to benefit. If we do not implement programs like the Conservation Cropping Systems Initiative, I believe we'll see a slow deterioration of our water quality in the state. We'll see a slow deterioration of our soils and the health of our soils. And when we see that happen and we think about our future with population doubling, needing to feed a hungry world, that is not a good scenario for us.